I want to explain to you. I want to read to you Friedrich Nietzsche. Okay, I wanted to explain to you. I want to explain to you one thing that Friedrich Nietzsche said. Even though I'm good at physics, one thing that Friedrich Nietzsche said is be an individual. The thing that you have to understand about being an individual is Friedrich Nietzsche was the first punk philosopher with the needle in his ear. One thing that I respected about him is like he did respect Jesus. I respected Jesus, you know why? Because when Jesus said he'd do something, he did it. When Jesus said he's gonna raise himself from the dead in 3 days, he will do it. Jesus, when he says something, he will do it. And Friedrich Nietzsche respected him because he was able to forgive people. I respect Friedrich Nietzsche because he was an individual. People who go into the idea of groups or epoches are not. Popularity is not excellence. If you want to be a popular person, popularity will not bring you excellence. Solidarity will bring you excellence. The nihilism of artists. Nature's cruel in her chillfulness, cynical in her sunniness. We are enemies of sentimental motions. We flee where the nature moves our senses and our imagination, where we have nothing to love, where we are not reminded of the moral subbalances and the delicacies of this northern nature. And the same is the case in the arts. We prefer which is no longer that reminds us of good and evil. Our moralistic susceptibility to the stimuli of pain is, as if it were, redeemed by terrible and happy nature. And fatalism of the senses and the forces, life without goodness. The benefits consist of contemplation of nature's magnificence, indifference to good and evil, no justice in history, no goodness in nature. That is why the pessimist, if he's an artist, goes in historics to the places where the absence of justice itself is revealed, splendid and naive, where the projection comes from the view, and also the nature of those indifferent character is not distinguished. Perfection, where she exhibits the character of perfection. The nihilist artist betrays himself in willing, preferring cynical history, cynical nature. Cynical nature that, okay. Well, the thing is, everything that Friedrich Nietzsche says, I mean, what we know in the senses, we can say we know for sure. But anything about a human being, how do we know for sure? How do you know anything about a human being? I think artists maybe get their ideas from nihilism, you know, the idea of cynicism. A lot of arts, I who knows the endless amount of things that were inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche's cynicism about the world, Catholicism, and the idea of God Himself. Um, I think a lot of arts have been from nihilism, anger, void in the world. Every artist, I think, suffered. And in their suffering, that's where the art came in. Vincent van Gogh cut off his ear and sent it to someone, but we'll always remember that. But do we remember the trivial little things that happen in everyday life? No.